Well, I've at least persuaded you to drop in on the Celtic world, and from the eye of the White Horse here, let's see, I beg you, Welsh history first, through a Celtic eye. Well, first, Wynford, let me introduce myself as your prophet Isaiah, the helicopter Bolshevik, and let me say you are a weaver of fantasies. You weave a fantasy about me, about the future. I hope you're not going to weave one about the past. But let's have a look here.
Fantasy? Rubbish. I look back into the past to find the facts, if they can be ascertained, as far as they can be ascertained, because I'm absolutely certain that the past controls what we think about the present, how we act and feel about the present.
And the present, to a large extent, determines how we look at the past. You called me a magpie. All historians are magpies, including yourself. And what strikes me is that what you select from the past is everything that makes Welsh history intolerably smug and cosy.
I called you a Marxist magpie because I think you look back into the past to select the bits that fit into a pattern of the future, a theory about what is bound to happen in the future.
That's rubbish. As a Marxist, I do not deal with tiny elites, but with whole peoples, with the struggle of whole peoples to survive and reproduce themselves, and I see history progressing through contradiction, the resolution of contradiction, through conflict and the resolution of conflict. You see it floating down the Neath Canal. You see Welsh history melding. You make it sound like marmalade.
It's not marmalade. I'm well aware that there's a bitter-sweet tang to history. I'm well aware of disasters, miseries, and anguishes of people. All I say is that we must try to understand how people felt in the past. Yes, even the ruling classes. There was no other possible form of structure. I don't think you are going to be happy until we get to the Industrial Revolution, when you really see a Welsh working class and it fulfills the Marxist picture of it.
Oh, rubbish. If I'm a magpie, you're a marshmallow. What do you see as the essence of Welsh history? I see it as precariousness.
I see it as continuity. I see us inheriting from the past all the courage and the hope and the inspiration that allows us to go into the future. I see us still as a nation. You don't see us as a nation.
I do, but I think what you're talking about is mystic hogswash. How could we have begun 2 peninsulas of Britain, mountains, no coherence, no natural unity? How did a people and a nation emerge there? They made themselves because they had to make themselves.
You say they make themselves automatically? You're continuing out of these terrible cuts in Welsh history.
Yes.
What did they make themselves out of? I think they make themselves out of a continuity of a memory, a feeling about the past.
But where on earth do we start? Well, where do you start? You go back way beyond the Celts. You go back to the old Stone Age people who actually disappeared and made no contribution whatsoever to the history of the world. When you put your hand on Arthur's stone and communed with people 4,000 years ago, 1 throb for yes, was it 2 throbs for no? Whoever they were, you weren't communicating with the Welsh people.
I was not communicating with anybody. You talk as if I was a psychic phenomenon. I'm not. I was simply making certain that I felt the continuity of the past, even though it wasn't the written past. I'm damn well certain it still has bearing on what we do today. Well, I want to start, I reckon we start Wales not with the Romans' recreations. You know, we've got to look further back, in my view.
We should begin where a specific Welsh people emerges into history with a specific territory and a specific language at some time after the end of Rome. Everything before that is prologue, and Rome is as significant to that prologue as the Celts are.
The prologue is vitally important, and the Celts have a strong, an even stronger part in that prologue than the Romans.
All right then, Boybach. You go and ride on your Celtic horse and ride off into your Celtic twilight. I'll leave now and I'll come back when the Welsh enter history. I must get off this bloody horse. It's giving me the Celtic creeps.
On your way, sailor. After all, it was the
Introduction of the program to Slate 1472, take